do that to yourself?
You're right. I don't need to do a lot of things to myself. But...
Are we live, guys?
Yes, we are.
We're live. Good morning, everybody. We're having a very important conversation about coffee this morning.
Very important.
Mr. Norse is, I think, our local artisan coffee connoisseur, and
I do my best.
Jay is basically telling us that he'll drink coffee from a dumpster if it's available. So
Yeah. Any
Local junkie.
rundown bodega gas station. Yeah, and obviously you could taste the difference, but I'd rather have that. The point I'm making, I'd rather have that coffee than no coffee. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I got you. I see.
That's where we're at. So how's everybody doing? The reason we're talking about coffee, I'm a little sluggish today, but I don't have that Lucci nonstop energy. But yeah, he's
young, he's frenetic.
I was gonna say, give him a couple years, literally a couple, and we'll see where that stands. So there are days. I always wondered about but you see, they're all on drugs and shit. Like talk show hosts, they always got to come in and entertain through the whole entire day. Like I used to wonder, like a Rush Limbaugh used to come in, talk about politics, and having that same enthusiasm every single day. I was like, how's that possible? Maybe he's just wired differently. And then lo and behold, you find out he was popping Oxycontin like they were fucking Tic Tacs.
Well, wait a second. Oxycontin doesn't get you all it makes you more of a freaking dullard than it does anything else, right?
I don't know who took that. That's fucking ecstasy throughout the day.
I thought opioids make you kind of freaking dopey.
No, nobody. The majority of the opioid people that take the opioids are taking it. You get a high from it. You get a relaxed high, not an energetic high. But you love to yap. You understand? You love to run the mouth. So, but I always used to when he talked about the same subject every day. He seemed like he was always into it. Always into the job. And then you find out the guy was taking them literally like we drink coffee every day, and that's what he needed to do. So, but once you get hooked on those things, you're dead. That's the problem with those.
Is that like an opposite? Is that like an opposite effect? Some people have like if it's supposed to dull you down, do some people have a body chemistry that when you take it makes you spastic?
Yeah. Like my wife would take a painkiller, she'd be knocked out for a week off one pill. But again, I know people. How about this? Brett Favre used to take 30 at halftime and go win a football game.
Yeah, listen, I mean, here's the thing. I don't know drugs. I don't know pharmacology. So I'm certainly no expert to talk about it. I can only talk about what I think could happen. So the fact that you tell me that people take it to be, wound up is that's a surprise to me. So
yeah, well, I think that, like Chandler from Friends, that he went down that path. He was taking 50 a day.
Jiminy Christmas.
50, so you imagine
kill a horse.
Numb the pain, you take one or two and you're shot. He was taking 50 going out filming Friends. Oh. So people, you react different, but the majority of people I know that go down that path and get hooked do it for the high and just the chill. You know what I mean? You feel good. Yeah. Not like I feel this morning where I can put my head on the desk and take a nap right now.
Maybe you need some Oxy.
Oh, that's all I need in my life. That's all I need.
All right. Well,
listen. That's the world. You get anything that's like you enjoy, you get hooked, and it'll kill you. Right? That's everything that's enjoyable in life.
It'll kill you. Figure.
All right. Back to the market.
We had a SPY day yesterday, which was for sure what chart or candlestick people would refer to as a engulfing. Red candle engulfing day, right? It swallowed up the last 3 days. So it was a nice sell-off this morning. Looks like you're recovering approximately half of that. And I think it depends on whether you see buyers or sellers this morning. And if you get the buyers, I don't know how much strength this has this morning. I just based on what we saw yesterday, I think this could be one of those crazy days that just doesn't gather the momentum that you're looking for to recapture that upside. But I think these swings today they could either be really violent or you could just see a flat day. That's where I think we're at this morning.
Yeah, and it's really tricky. Kind of listen, yesterday, especially with the whole November Expo gamma dynamics and there were a lot of eyeballs looking at it. So usually happens that way. But it's not that the market couldn't move. You need the catalyst, right? You need something to overpower that added force that may be coming from gamma or positioning. And you kind of had it with the bond auction yesterday, right?
Yeah.
It kind of stemmed from that little kick from Powell. And before you know it, you had a little bit more weakness that you maybe were expecting or that we've seen. I still think that playbook that we've been talking about is at play. We may see less of an impact from it, but kind of to your point, we probably get that sticky price action. I still think net, I don't see how without a catalyst, there's a significant bearish development that comes out of this. And the reason I'm saying that, you have hedge funds that are short out the eyeballs, up to the eyeballs in single names. A lot of that tightening of financial conditions out of the credit markets, that was the main problem. You understand? That was the issue that was weighing on a lot of that negative price action. And that has gone away. It's gone right now. So unless you get that catalyst to bring it back into the mix, I really just don't see the strong momentum developing to the downside without something to come in and shock the markets. I don't know what's around next week. You got a few things, right? We discussed Ranchero, CPI. What was the November Expo? There was something else you and I were talking
about.
Which one?
NVIDIA.
How can I forget? NVIDIA, right? So you have some balls in the air next week that really have a tendency to loosen things up. But for the remainder here, maybe into early next week, probably we get more of the same. I think what a lot of you guys have been talking about and doing is probably the best route to take. Individual names, kind of to that point, like Ranchero was calling out the Tesla weakness for a couple of days. Saw it again yesterday. That was a nice trade to the downside, even before the market was weak. Some stuff may look more resilient and show some strength, even if the market got to kind of look for opportunities there, in my opinion, rather than rely on the indexes. But again, I could be wrong.
Look at Win this morning.
Off earnings, correct?
Yep. Big old gap.
Oh, Jesus. These stocks are just sick. And that's kind of the problem, is that it's not a bearish backdrop out there. You have enough negativity and doubts of the market, the economy. It's so much of the under the hood of this market looks sick. It just looks awful, right? Nothing constructive outside of a few tech names. And that's only going to get you so far. Could hold markets up, but only going to get you so far. Win, to Ranchero's point right there, right? Showing a little bit of strength. Last couple of days, earnings, boom, right back down. So now that's going to take down the whole sector, you would think, right? MGM. Yeah, I mean, you can look. You have any interest in even dip buying these names for a trade, Ranchero?
I don't, so I mean, only from a technical standpoint, Win's drop is a 50% retrace from this most recent low back in October of 22 to the most recent high of May 23. I mean, it's the only thing of note, but the number was bad. It was a big miss.
Wasn't that bad? I didn't even look into it. Bad,
actually, I take that back. It was an upside surprise. So I don't know. I don't know if this, maybe it's a place for it to bounce. I don't know. I've been out of touch with the sin stocks for a long time, so I
reason. They've been
I
dead
really
wood,
can't.
right?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I can point to is technicals. That's it.
Yeah,
and say maybe you got a shot there. It seems like it makes sense, but if I look.
Go ahead.
I just don't see it, right? I mean, just that's it. You got a 50% retrace of that big move, and that's it. Maybe.
Yeah. And that's, that's what's kind of a lot of us were hoping for. We'd see, even off weakness, right? Earnings can take down anything if there's bad guidance, whatever. Maybe players would step in, considering these things haven't done anything, haven't participated in any rally, that they'd come in and buy them. But a lot of these things still, especially off bad earnings, some of the better earnings have been rewarded short squeeze wise, but a lot of these cyclical names are just dead.
They're dead. We'll see if they come back for the Tesla. You had guys rolling down to 205s yesterday, rightfully so. On the technicals, it's sitting right at this year's anchored volume weighted average price. So a break of that level potentially fills your gap down to 206. And then you're potentially looking at that 195 area. So maybe technically it looks very bad. So
yeah, and that was definitely the cleanest price action flow wise, right? You would say overall.
Yes, but it was very slow to get there.
Yeah,
it found the momentum, it took off, but it was slow to reach that off of the open.
Definitely. Well, you know what it was too, right? We were talking the market. It got help from the market later on in the day, where it wasn't getting any help from the market early on.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, you need a weakness in a market that wasn't selling initially.
Right.
Yep. What about the big guys? I'm sure people want to hear about some of these marvelous sevens or whatever they call them.
Oh yeah. Let's take a look. So what TTD was announced, that was yesterday. Is that right? That's got a big fat gap down. That was an upside surprise. So what's up with TTD?
Maybe the guidance. Probably guidance.
I know. I don't go read I don't have time to go read all these freaking reports. It makes my head hurt.
It's the price action that matters anyway, right? Price action and flow ultimately. But if they do, I mean, anybody who is interested in the name, you do see some sweeper activity. This thing can bounce nicely. If you're looking for that sort of thing. We saw recently, Sil and a couple of people in the room played Team off a little bit of flow.
Oh yeah, he likes to play that.
Bounce. Yeah.
Yep.
So they definitely bounce candidates on an intraday basis if we see some constructive action.
Silvers yesterday did say that he saw that buyer disappear. So I'd be interested to see if Team today is a short. That if that buyer is gone, that's not good from a technical standpoint. Yeah. Team looks like it wants to just give up.
Yeah, there were a few of these. I don't know if they do the same thing. You guys know me with tech, but that stock Bill got destroyed. That's a software name. Some of these names just off poor earnings have really been beaten up. What about NVIDIA? They probably keep that thing bid up until
Bag 7 names. Right? I mean, those are, I know you hate them, but
yeah,
the truth is people are there making money. So you can't fault them for making money. If this thing keeps trading up, what are you going to do? Take the money.
And that's the trade in the market, I think, right? The resilience in the market is these things find buyers off every little dip. So you're 100% right. I'm not mad at anybody. What has a tendency to happen is people want more than just that trade. They get greedy, right? Because it's never enough. And they get caught and they're holding the bag when the music stops. So that's the thing to be careful about, but they've been ridiculous. But you would think NVIDIA, they keep it bid up until earnings next week at the least, right?
I mean, it's priced to perfection at the moment. So
yeah,
we'll see.
Then maybe you get some sell on the news, possibly, if they don't meet expectations, or they got high expectations. So it's not necessarily an easy thing these days.
It might be high.
What else is there? Anything else you're seeing there? Couple of upside niners. Amazon had an upside niner in English. That's an exhaustion signal. You get a little bit of a pause in the rally. So a few of those names ran into exhaustion signals, but still look okay, right? You see anything?
Yeah, no, Amazon. I'm gonna probably do some writing on it today. When it comes to Costco, I'm interested to see if, and these are my long-term holdings. I'm interested to see if Costco is going to hold this little technical area. It looks good for upside. I would love to add to my position, but I need this to hold up and push higher. Costco's can be very difficult to trade, and you kind of have to really wait for spots technically, if you're going to attempt anything, it can be really difficult to trade.
Yeah, test your patience. All right, we're open here. Just another note, AMD, you got an upside niner there as well today for a possible rest.
Okay, so SPY right off of the open, just a little weakness, and we'll see what happens. We'll see where they come in. Got consumer sentiment at 10, right? But I don't know how much of an impact that has.
It shouldn't be anything material, I don't think.
1 minute. So SPY is just opening on yesterday's VWAP. So, either this is support, or maybe, you get them to fill this gap and then they take it higher, but not a bad thought to try and play for downside if this doesn't hold up. Anything coming in off of the open here?
Nothing coming in yet. Hold on, let me close the door.
What we got here? Oh, XLE crossing up. I forgot. Sometimes I forget about these positions. There's XLE. Oh, that's a big move up on XLE. Uh-oh, they're all excited. So oil's getting a pop here. See if they hang on to it.
Move over, Dukes.
Dukes, assume the snoring position.
I gotta try to like tuck her in a drawer or something. Small caps, IWM, a little green there this morning. Let's see how long it takes them to turn them red. Doesn't take them long to turn them red.
Say that might be a nice short. It's been a good short.
SPY and QQQ put in reversal bars yesterday on the daily. Like we made several new highs and then made a new high yesterday, closed at the low. And we're opening right at the midpoint of yesterday's bar. So I'm interested to see if that breaks higher or not.
Yeah, Norse and SPY also opened on yesterday's VWAP too. So
right.
I'm curious to see if it's a put play here. I might take some just to fuck around.
And I'll be paying attention to the walls here as all the players come in and open their new 0 DTE positions. We'll usually see these walls kind of move around a little bit. So in about 30 minutes, we should get an understanding of where they are. Build it.
Roblox, little sweep. Let's see what you got. Little weekly nibbling in Roblox. On the call side yesterday, there was absolutely nothing throughout the afternoon. Nothing. I think so.
Polish central bank governor saying that Poland is not prepared to enter the euro.
Looks like they're rolling some protection out. Apple up, what is it, $2? Apple upside niner. Oh, Monday probably, not today. Now, the semis were looking really good early yesterday, and then the bond auction and Powell kind of got a hold of them. SMCI looked like it was ready to rip to new highs and kicked it in reverse.
It's a downside alert on SPX. Yeah, I'm going to take a little bit of some downside here. Looking for
I
gap
mean, that's-
fill. Otherwise, it just turns around and starts going the other way.
Your
see.
buddy Tesla seeing, oh, these are way out of
Give
the
it
money.
a
Though.
feeler shot here. Give it a feeler. Okay, so we grabbed a little 10 lot here for $1, and we'll see if this wants to go. There's today's VWAP. So right about here at 435 and a half-ish is where I need to get out of the way. But I'll look for a little gap fill here. Tesla, $5,500 on 11/17, 167 and a half. Somebody throwing down some coin there, Jay.
Yeah, they're rolling the dice.
Roll the dice.
What are they looking for here? Oh. The kind of sluggish open. You got rolling, which is Friday expiration.
All right,
Happens
where
regularly.
is the put wall on? Oh, come on. This thing is driving me nuts. All right, I'm showing a put wall at 43.50.
That's correct on SPX, Ron.
Yep, thank you, Norse.
But they might
43.50
move.
is-
It might move in the morning as people, take
Yeah, I got you.
0 DT positions. So
I got you. But I'm just gonna mark an alert there. I mean, that's not a bad target
that's
to
a good
look
target
for
now. Yep.
on this little flush. So we'll see what we get. Gotta be quick on these things.
Yeah, I see the QQQ is a lot stronger than SPY here. Seeing some divergence
Yep.
between the two.
What else is new?
What else is new?
Yes.
Okay, so if I don't see this thing pull here, I'm just gonna cut this and we'll look for something else.
Yeah, but very similar start to what we've seen, right? Tech names strong,
Right.
stronger. AMD, some strength there off the open. Everything else not doing a damn thing. What's up outside of tech today? Anything? Let me see the heat map. So you got tech up a little bit. Financials a little mixed, flat to mixed. Energy a little green. Had
Yeah.
some green too. Energy, and they flushed it yesterday. Ow! Move over.
All right, I'm gonna cut that SPY here.
Fucking dog. Roblox, seeing a little spec play there. Let's see what's cooking in Roblox. So you got weekly 38 and a halves and November 41 calls. It might be a little rolling there involved. But again, some specs in Roblox.
Upside alert on Tesla. Back to yesterday's VWAP. Okay, so you're getting some pushes higher. Your SPY looking Q's North saying is looking stronger this morning. Yes, much stronger for sure.
Roblox, I'm seeing an upside niner there as well. NVIDIA, November monthly call sweep.
Seems like Apple is doing some of the heavy lifting here today.
Yeah, here's your SPY coming for the highs.
VIX, new lows of the morning. Credit, yeah, financial conditions.
Win puts it in there.
Fine.
Do not like the win.
They don't like anything else, brother, outside of tech. Nothing. Not anything.
And for the people who are asking where Lucci is in Vegas for Traders for Cost, the Traders for Cost conference.
Rolling the dice. Baby
Roll
needs
the
new
dice.
shoes.
Yep.
He needs new shoes. So what else we got casino-wise we can look at, Jay? You got
MGM,
LVS.
Las Vegas Sands, LVS.
They're all selling off.
They all haven't really. They've just been dead for a while now.
You need them to step up to the pass line.
Yeah, seriously. It's just, I guess they're economically sensitive in a sense. Not always though. But they rely on. I don't know the excuse. They've been.
I went to Vegas. It was friggin' packed. It was packed.
Right. But see, that's the thing. Like, it's Macau that's been destroying them. You understand? Vegas has held up. There's been nothing wrong with Vegas. Macau has been a disaster.
I'm going to take a quick bio break and I'll be right back. I got one attempt at a scalp, which did not follow through, which is fine. So that's a $288 loser, but we'll look for something a little better here in just a few minutes.
Your favorite stock in the world, my friends, NVIDIA, seeing more call buying. And NVIDIA is at the point now, there's some bullish chasing for earnings exposure-wise, but a lot of the weeklies, the stock is going up. They're sweeping weekly calls, stock goes down. They're sweeping weekly puts. They're doing everything that everybody else is doing right now. TSM, that's a nice move. Some weekly activity there. Then news on that gap up's got to be. TSM rival profit drop. That can't be it. Oh, October sales. So they had some numbers. It's kind of been a sluggish stock, TSM. Not as bad as some of the other cyclical semis.
Says I see 2024 GDP growth at 1.2.
2024 GDP growth at 1.2 to 1.5%.
You got some more VIX selling coming into play here.
Down from the current fees.
Creating another push out of for equities. Looks like some call flow in Tesla, I guess, playing off the momentum. Let's see. Weeklies. Keep in mind, weekly calls in these big guys maybe give you an idea of the next 3.5 seconds on a Friday expiration. They expired today, obviously. They reported numbers. They were bad. Oh, it came back a little bit off the lows. Here's the early action in nothing too exciting. You got credit spreads confirming some of the early strength here this morning so far. By the way, credit default swaps actually tightened up even further in a bullish way off yesterday's weakness. So that weakness yesterday was a non-event.
So you're saying Santa Claus rally?
No. I mean, Santa, that's a little too far out for me right now. The backdrop, no matter what, the backdrop is bullish. There's not anything you can say about this backdrop that's bearish, positioning-wise and shit like that. The problem is that they're not buying anything else outside of a few handful of tech names.
Mm-hmm. But they can, keep carrying the market for a long time by buying those names.
I don't know how long. How long? What's whatchamacallit? Apple and Microsoft market cap wise, what are they gonna do? They're gonna go up like this for another 3 months? Not gonna happen. Not without QE. Then it's not gonna happen. They could hold the market up, but
hold.
you're not. You need other participation, especially again without QE.
And then what happens when money start coming out of those names? Where are they going to go?
We just saw what happened. We went through a little correction, right? That's what happened. At the end of the summer, we were seeing the same shit. And then once their buying dries up, still, if they're not buying anything else, the market corrects. So that's why, this can linger like this throughout November. But if they don't buy anything else coming into the end of the year, you probably get an end of the year sell-off.
That's a nice move on AMD. Holy shit.
That's not Santa Claus.
So positioning is bullish and sentiment is very bearish. Is that correct to say?
Positioning, say again?
You said positioning is bullish, and then it seems sentiment is very bearish.
No.
If you're looking at Twitter, it seems like the world's gonna fall apart by tomorrow.
Why are you looking at Twitter? That's a great place for financial advice. Twitter's a great place for financial advice.
No, it's great for entertainment.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about bullish. When I say bullish, I'm talking as a contrarian. It looks bullish, meaning they're negative. Positioning and sentiment's negative. Hence, as a contrarian, it's a bullish backdrop. Make sense?
Got it. Yep.
Yeah.
But Norse, I think you should go back to Twitter and let us know what's going to happen after you gather all the information there.
No, you don't.
Yeah, but to your point, Norse, that's the point I'm trying to make. Is even tweets are suicidal. They're talking about the end of the world. And that's a nice backdrop for equities. The problem is if you don't have buying behind that, it can keep equities afloat, right? It keeps them big, but you're not going to get upside. That's the problem.
63.8 as well, with a range of 68 to 61.5. For the University of Michigan 1-year inflation expectations.
Zach with the squawk guy. Zach, for the one of you who continuously asks for the squawk guy to put him louder, I get 7 others that tell me to lower the squawk guy and shut him off. So I kind of gotta split the difference at times. You know what I mean?
5-year inflation expectations forecast 3% on prime, 3% as well. Conditions
I think Jesus is saying you got no juice, Zach.
I'm just saying. For each time Zach is telling me to put the squawk guy louder, I got you telling me the squawk guy to go fuck himself, right?
That's what I mean. He's got no juice.
Yeah.
Zach's got no juice.
Singleton is well positioned to let things happen.
Let things happen. Yeah, the Fed is. Listen, the Fed's not doing shit as far as rates or anything like that. You know, it's all financial conditions, and that's the market really moving things around. But that's not QE either. Tesla, a little bearish action. So you guys see the flow, right? Blah. Again, we just talked about all the bullish backdrop out there. And, you know, sweepers have zero interest. TSM, a little chasing there again in weeklies. Off a nice gap up. How the semis looking? You know, the semis could end up being a savior for a little extension of this bullish phase we got going on here. But I'm not talking about NVIDIA and AMD. There's a lot of other companies in the world in that semi complex.
I'm going to take some of these Tesla puts here. And if it gets back above this 213.45, I'll cut. But I like the way it sets up here for a little pull.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, Uber has been a nice name too, bullish with flow. Yeah, Uber looks good. You got again, the stuff that looks good, you got upside niners all over the yard. Uber running into one here. So it may not be the ideal entry on any new long outside of the day.
Well, that Tesla was a fake out. At least right here it was.
Fake out up or down? What do you mean?
Oh, they bounced it, but
Oh, it was going lower and they bounced it?
there's just some weird action on it right now. It's in a little bit of a fight.
You got a little tech protection, XLK. That's the tech ETF. December 1st, 172 puts. Microsoft upside niner Monday.
Amazon's today, right?
No, Amazon was a couple days ago. So
a couple days ago. My bad.
yeah, it's already been breathing for a couple days now, which is good.
Look at this bounce in Unity. Holy shit. Chris, are you playing that?
Yeah, wow.
Playing that for gap fill. It's a nice trade.
That stock too has been obliterated, right? $24.
Obliteration.
Amazing. So you got some economic data, consumer sentiment coming out in 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Chris played TTD, not Unity. Watching Unity. Watching it gap fill. Microsoft bears decent size for next week. 362.5 puts. Lay down 245K. All right, Tesla working a little bit. See if they can get it back to VWAP.
You got a little PLTR bull flow. PLTR, today's expiration, PLTR. The 19s. CL, what is crew doing? Up a little today?
It's up a little
yeah.
today.
Up a little. Damn, they did some damage there. You got a downside niner in crude. They took that down nicely, huh? And go figure. Holy war in the Middle East, right? Well, that's always, seems like that's always a sell the news thing. Always. I mean, the energy stocks might find a little bit of a bounce. They could rotate there over a couple of days. That'll keep the market bid for a bit, you know, so they can do some of that stuff, even if it's not major rotation. Let me put the squawk guy up for the data. Oh, we got 3 minutes too. NVIDIA, a little cheap put action mixing in. Avgo November 950s in a suite. There's another name they've been piling into.
I think it's a beast.
Yep.
90 seconds. The University of Michigan sentiment reading November preliminary expected at 63.8, should be in line with the prior current conditions expected 70.3. Expectations indexing at 61. One-year inflation outlook expected to fall 0.2 to 4.0%. 5-year inflation outlook expected to remain at 3.0%.
University of Michigan sentiment freedom.
If I put in that thing again. You got some more put buying in that Riley again, RILY. Huge amount of insider buying. The stock squeezed nicely over the summer, gave it all back.
What is
that's
Riley?
a brokerage firm. A brokerage
okay.
firm. Kind of like Schwabi.
I don't know them. I do not know this name.
Yeah, you probably know them. You just don't remember. They small caps. I think they cover mostly.
Oh, gross.
November preliminary Michigan sentiment reading in just a few seconds.
John Smith, Lucci is not here, and you got to be careful sounding like a teenage cheerleader talking about AMD. The market gods will punish you for that.
There's a little dump in Tesla. Break the VWAP so that sentiment news is out.
63.8 expected. One-year inflation outlook rising to 4.4% from 4.2%, 4/10 higher than expected. 5-year inflation outlook rising to 2/10 to 3.2%.
So you got a little bit of a surprise. The inflation outlook, they were looking for it to come down again, and you got a little bump up in it.
I just tried to cover my Tesla on that spike, and I got a shit fill. I thought I was going to get like 215, 214. I got filled at $1.91. That was a waste of my fucking time.
Doesn't seem like the market cares much about it. What was it? Inflation I'm looking at? 1 year, 5 year 3.2. They were expecting 3, 1 year 4.4. That I mean, I'm surprised the market didn't sell off that. At least initially. They don't care anymore.
So you had Tesla hitting today, and yesterday's VWAP are converging. So that's an area where they would either bounce or you'd look for it to continue to flush. I covered there. I made a little bit of money. I scraped back a little bit of the early loss. So there's still more work to do. And I'm going to see if they sell this Tesla off here. I'm looking at 210 puts for today. We'll see if we can make that work if this thing continues to bleed. Which it looks like it wants to do. Netflix puts small.
Little guy.
Small.
Little guy. Highest since 2011. Wow. What? Weird, right, Matt? Market didn't sell on that. I thought initially when I first heard it would sell, but maybe you get a delayed sell.
All right, let's grab a little more Tesla here and see if this thing will flush through this little area. If not, no big deal. What did I get filled at there? $1.30. So let's see if this keeps going. Bounce or flush spot. There we go. Come on.
Come on. Home Depot, little put action. November 24th. Oh, they have earnings. I was wondering why this thing catching sweeps. They report 11:14, Home Depot.
You're listening to Trade the News.
Thanks, Roxy.
Roxanne.
All right, so I just scraped kind of all of the losses back here this morning. So that just kind of puts me back to neutral so I can not be so hyper.
First off.
So we'll see. Now I can regroup and see if I find something a little better. The Tesla was nice. Maybe it keeps going. Maybe I can jump back into that. But right here,
Tesla's
I'm
been
my
your
luck.
go-to the last few days here, right?
Say it again.
Tesla, your go-to.
It works. It worked.
Yeah, no, it's again the cleanest action yesterday on both sides, I think.
Yeah.
So not much
That
of a
Nvidia
sell
looks
off
like
at
it wants
higher
to go.
inflation.
AMD peeling off. So semis peeling off. Natural places to look for some fades, and if they keep going, right? So how'd your SPY pull back? I mean, that's the funny thing about the sentiment, that news, kind of a non-event, right?
Yeah, honestly, I thought we'd get again initial reaction, get a little more sell than this, but doesn't seem kind of quiet. Okay, maybe get a delayed reaction. Tesla 210 puts was today. Affirm.
Hey, Norse, when it comes to these guys in the free feed, just remind them if they're chirping, if they want to chirp us in the Steam, because I'm not paying attention to them over here. I do not give a flying rat's ass what they say over there. But if they want to come chirp us in the Steam room, they can pay to do it, and they can chirp us there. Otherwise, just ignore them because they're fucking twats.
So if they want to talk shit, they have to pay $8 first.
Exactly. If you want to talk shit, put some money down and come talk shit. Otherwise,
don't even acknowledge them.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Don't even acknowledge otherwise.
That's what they're trying to do, get your attention.
Exactly.
Little kiddos.
All right, this Tesla still looks weak.
Yeah, and you had some green there to short into. Did they fill that Tesla gap on the downside that we were looking at, or not yet?
At 206? No, they did not fill that.
Oh, it's 206.
What they did do yesterday, though, was they took it down below the volume weighted average price for the year, and they gave you a look as if they were gonna fill the gap, but they didn't. So
Little play action fake.
exactly. All right, what else is cooking? Do a little walk around the club. Let's see what else we got.
Walk around the club.
So you got some more Tesla bears hitting. Home Depot. That's a decent sized sweep for Home Depot. You got some Netflix. Got you. Netflix, they're catching some put sweepers. Let's take a look at Netflix. I haven't taken a look at that.
Petrobras CFO, I'm following there.
Put's not working on Netflix currently. That looks like it hurts. The win, they really did a nice job off of the open, Jay, to flush the rest of that thing out.
Yeah,
Somebody called out in the steam room at 80 as support. I mean, from here, that would be a difficult short, but not the worst idea. Uber, who's trading Uber? Yeah, what's going on with
Netflix?
Uber?
Netflix upside niner today, by the way.
Netflix upside niner. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I just posted
Uber,
the chart. You can see it.
See, I don't get it. Uber, they had earnings on the 7th. They beat by 3 cents. I don't know the guide. Technically, it looks strong. It's definitely catching flow, upside flow.
Yeah, Uber looks good. Yeah, one of the few outside of those big guys that has looked good. Definitely looks good.
We can also take a walk around the walls now that they've got some time to settle. So if you're looking at ES, you have the call wall at 4,400. Nice round number, like seeing that. And then you have the put wall at 65. And then we can see that we've basically just been range bound, chopping around the GWAP here. So for me, not much to do until we hit one of the walls.
Norris, what are you looking at? Are you looking at ES right now?
I'm looking at ES, yes.
Yes, okay.
If we're
Get over my
if people wanted an SPX, you have the SPX call walls at 85, so $20 difference between ES and SPX right now, and you have the put wall at 50.
Did you guys change the layout? The whole layout just went a little wacky on me.
I know they're working on some updates for you on the SPY right now, but the tool that I'm using, which is not available for everyone yet, but the one that we're launching on the platform seems to be very stable at the moment.
Got you.
You got a little more Tesla put action strolling in.
Strolling in? How big?
Let's see what they put. November 24th, 207.5 for about 300 grand.
Buying a little time. Oh yeah, it's definitely looking weak. Might still get some more out of that. Let's take a look at next week's. I don't want to play any more of this week's. 205s are trading at 365 by 370. That's an interesting strike. Almost 8,000 contracts traded on that line for next week. It's not a bad looking line.
Yeah, so Dave just confirmed he's working on adding the Tesla for you, Ron. So if you're seeing anything funky, that's why.
I got you. Thank you. I'm going to take some of that next week's action if I can get filled. See if they fill me here. They do not want to fill me. I might have to update this price. Let's see. Mid is 3. So, okay, they filled me 378. So I'll just sit here for a little bit. Since I've got a week's worth of time, I can let this kind of bounce around a little bit. But if they're going to start coming in here on the Tesla and hit it again, I don't mind. So 1124, 207 and a half is 300K. That's decent size. Thank you, Dave. Let's take a look at this on the daily. Okay, this one can go away.
I like this Bitcoin.
So the action on today's, they hit the 210s. That was a little earlier. Those guys are probably gone by now.
Yeah, right. On Friday, nevertheless.
Yep.
Or rolling. You do that, right? When you if you like a swing short, but you try to play the momentum same.
Yeah, like a good, like a good
roll.
example is, and I do it to try and keep myself out of trouble. So a good example is Boeing, right? Like the other day, I forget when it was. When it was close to the 50, whatever day this was. This was like November 6th. I took 200 puts, made money on it, and rolled down to next week's 187 and a halves. So they're free. Right. So all of this movement in here, I get to ignore, because if they go out worthless, it doesn't bother me because it's a free shot, right?
Yep.
So I like to try and get into situations like that allow me the opportunity to take a shot with
little
basically
cost.
Free money, right? And I'll try to wiggle into the Tesla a little bit for that as well. But we'll see what it does.
A little nibbling in coin, could be some rolling involved off the recent strength. Bitcoin was up, right? Yep. Bitcoin up about 400 and change.
And look with them on Bitcoin, or sorry, on Coinbase, the move that it made yesterday. I mean, I didn't see it coming, and it moved with Bitcoin. But look at what it. I mean, just from technicals, whether you believe in it or not, look at it, right to a fib, and then it hit its head right at the fib.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough to make that shit up.
Lucci's in Vegas. Traders for a cause.
Get yourself to Vegas.
FSR puts.
I'm curious, why Norse? Why don't we? Is any of that televised?
I think they record it and then they put it on their website after.
Like
Yeah,
when
because you got to pay.
That seems like something we should be.
Yeah, you got to pay to watch.
We should be seeing Lucci speak.
Yeah, but you got to pay for charity events. Otherwise, who the hell's going to go if you get them for free? You understand?
He was talking about members of the Steamroom should get an opportunity to see Lucci speak.
For free?
Why not? Just Lucci.
Because it's a charity event that people are paying for.
Yeah, we pay for the Steamroom. That's charity in itself.
Okay. This FSR.
Donating to the Church of Jesus.
There you go.
Yeah. I like that. I like that charity. I like that charity. Squeezometer is actually unchanged, even with the green out there. I thought it'd be up a little bit. Still 59. Nice little rinse yesterday. I mean, from a scorching 70.
A rinse. Give it a rinse.
Much needed rinse.
Oops, I don't want that.
And our anti-VIX, you got to bounce right from technically like bull signal.
Okay, here's your Tesla dump. Let's see if they retrace the whole thing.
There's a spec bet on one of those Bitcoin miners we see flowing from time to time. Hut, 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 hut. Gen 3. Well, listen, I know people don't like to hear it, but if you're looking to trade off sweeper activity, especially on the call side, there's absolutely nothing you can even pretend to play off sweeper activity. Okay? Nothing. Yeah, that's what we want to buy. That's right up your alley, Ranchero. Melco
What's that?
Casino out of Macau. Strictly a Macau casino play.
Gross.
Like 100% exposure to Macau.
I don't know if there's anything more unreliable than communists in a gambling casino. Come on.
Yeah, that's just bad, right? It's just bad. Commie casinos. As a recipe for a disaster. Hot earnings 11-14. Do they even have earnings, Praveen? I doubt it, right? That's strictly a Bitcoin lotto ticket. So if you get that ETF, Bitcoin ETF hype, and Bitcoin, let's say, pushes 45,000, you might, if you play these things, you might cash a decent ticket lotto on these spec Bitcoin plays. But you need a big move, so it's kind of a cheap lotto ticket in a sense. But honestly, you're probably better off with the ones like a Mara, right, or a Riot than the cheaper ones. Bitcoin miners. I'm not even going to pretend to try to understand that business. Still have no clue what the hell those guys do. Uber December 55s, a little adding there into an upside niner. Uber having a real nice day again today.
Uber everywhere.
I was calling it, the whole Steamroom was abusing me for months. I used to call it, I didn't know what the hell who it was. You know me, when it was fairly newish to me. Uber.
Ron, check this out.
Yes, sir.
Just for you right here.
What's
Ron.
up? What do you got?
You see this?
Do I see what?
We got this busy on the
Where am I
0
looking?
DTEs. So if you see my screen
okay.
on the stream,
Hang on.
you know,
Let me catch up. Remember, golden retriever running
Yeah.
for the bus here. Okay. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Got you.
I just wanted to point out that, you know, we're not ratio adjusting the SPX to SPY like we're doing in the ES. Like this is actually showing the levels in SPY. So you're going to get different levels in SPX and ES than you're going to get in the SPY. And we haven't been watching the SPY yet. So I would watch this, you know, for a few days, week or so to see how things react. But it looks like we got a pretty decent reaction off 435 twice this morning, which was the put wall. So it's going to be super interesting to pay attention to. We know that the ES and the SPX works really well, like I said, because of how much that is used as a hedging vehicle. So now we can start paying attention to the SPY as well. So there you go.
Sweet. I like
That's
it,
what we
man.
do
Thanks,
over here.
boys.
Sees
what we do.
for support on looking to
And we've got about 10 minutes before we flip over to the Steamroom only feed. If you guys want to be a part of that, you can. Those of you who are just here to troll, please consider donating your money if you'd like to. We'll entertain your trolling if you pay for it. So if you want to continue doing that, you can pay and we'll entertain your trolling. Otherwise, if you want to learn how we do this and use some of the tools that we have access to that have been created by a lot of our internal traders, come join us. Trial for 7 days. Who's posting that? Matt.
Oh my God, look at the plug. Oh,
There we go. There's your link.
I know of a couple of people who
Got Tesla still flushing out here, which is nice. So these 205 puts for next week are working currently, which is nice. Very nice. And if we get the continuation down to here, I'll consider some profits, but this looks very similar to yesterday's action. So we'll see. We will see. Yeah, see, so here's your boy Max Payne. That's just, bro, pay to come to the Steam Room, and you can talk your shit and post your P&L and do all your dumb shit there. Have at it. Have at it there.
Yeah, take your diaper off, will you?
Right?
Yes, it's a roll.
And your takes are not very good, bro. Your takes are not good. All right, Tesla continuing to flush.
We got a little more tack on put action. These are in the money. 210s for today.
For today, it's a little degenerate sweep. So I probably get to manage this a little bit. So my average price on these are 378. So I'm going to put a stop in let me take a look at this here.
Which one? No, I didn't see Bumble. Let me see, Trader. BNB. 14 bucks. What do you they've been hammering things? You like it, you're saying? Or what? You like it for a squeeze, or you saying it's going out of business?
We'll put a stop in at 410 currently.
A little more put action. Tesla November monthly 200.
That'll keep me green on the Teslas. I want to stick around if I can. Be looking for some kind of a little bounce here at the lows.
Seems to be, again, the only appetite for anything, really. Tesla, right? Same thing. Same exact thing as yesterday. Same thing. Deja vu. Groundhog Day.
Yeah, and I would look for Tesla around. If they don't bounce it here, it's in trouble. So, you know, a bounce here seems like it makes sense from a structure standpoint. But if they really pull the rug, you could get more of a violent flush.
Ultra violence.
And I would like to just continue to move my stop down if that happens. Or I should say up. My stop win up. So here's your spot. I'm hearing the machine gun fire in the background.
Yeah, a little light selling, nothing much. Nothing much. Let's look at a heat map. I'd like to look at the heat map. Torture me some more. Let me see.
I'm going to move this stop win on the Tesla to 450.
So heat map, again, you got some of the big guys holding things together. Energy, still looks like some green there.
Add to your
it looks,
shorts.
again, looks like one big hot menagerie out there.
Yeah, listen to those little tick strikes going.
Oops.
So right now they're not showing any bounce in Tesla right yet, just yet. It's going to keep flushing out. That's a nice flush lower. Very nice. I'm going to move my stop to $5.
Tesla 200s.
Go get them, boys. Trying to bounce here a little bit. I might get taken out.
Very nice, Ron.
There it is. Got taken out at 493. So that's $1,100 in just a few minutes. So that's how I manage the trades. I don't use stop loss. I use stop wins. I want to make sure that I'm not putting myself in a situation where I dangle an order out there for the market makers to just take if I'm in a loss situation. If I'm in a green situation, I like to move them down. That ensures that I don't get hit over the head if it's a violent move back up.
It sounds so much better too, right? Like mentally.
Say it again. What? Say it again, Norse.
Sounds so much better too mentally, right? It's a win.
It's
People
positive,
say,
right?
I got stopped out.
It's a positive stop. It's not a connotation with the negative all the time, right? So I mean that could be it. So on the small account, like I said, I'm trying to get this thing back over 30K so I can start looking at taking some bigger shots, and it's 29.5 now. So that's we'll creep back in, and then we'll start looking for bigger shots. Patience is key before you can just throw down, at least in small account size terms. All right, so we're about at the time to cut the trolls loose.
Oh my God. They're buying plug puts down here. March 2.5 puts. I know a few people who are holding large bags in this stock. It's long term, bro. It's an investment.
That's all relative, right? It's part of what you do, right?
Story.
Scalping is a part of a bigger picture, right? That's just raising cash, right?
Yeah. Oop,
Just raising cash.
what the hell did I just do? I did something here.
Max Payne, not only will I not blow up, I'll broadcast from my home in Kona next week so you can eat a dick. How do we block this guy? He's just a turd.
Who?
For real. This guy in the stream.
Uh,
All right. We done with these guys yet? I wish you would die, Max Payne. All right, let's get rid of these guys. Have a good weekend, everybody.
have a good one, everybody.
Max
Have a good
Payne.
weekend.
Laters.
APP November 40s. That's a roll.